After the death of Kurt Cobain, American pop culture saw two major things. Teenage suicide skyrocketed, and in came the Riot Grrl movement of, the new punk feminism. And I was entering my senior year at Andover High School in Massachusetts, and we had the highest suicide rate in the county, literally, because, they treated kids like that badly there, if you were different. And for my entire time in high school, I was pretty much like the only punk rock girl, the only alternative girl in the school. So, I suffered like a lot of a bullying and getting made fun of, and not just by the kids, but even more so, I think, by the administration, the adults, so-called adults, right? But with, when I hit my senior year and a new class came in, the new crop of students came in at the freshman level, because of the rise of Courtney Love and the new Riot Grrl movement, now we had all-girl bands that were on MTV. We had L7 and Babes in Toyland, and then, some bands that had girls, at least girls in them, Sonic Youth, White Zombie, so now, finally now people were understanding what I was, whereas before it was like, just some alien freak, so kick her around. But now that you had, the all-girl bands coming out, and Courtney Love being, this iconic female rock star, now people started to get it. So this new crop of freshmen, whereas I had been, pretty much on my own fighting the fight before, this new crop of freshmen, there was now a bunch of mini-me's. There was a group of, mini-me's that were dressing like. And with these new kind of liberated females, we also had liberated boys coming into the scene for the first time at my school as well. The new crop of freshmen now, there were boys that were willing to experiment with, gender identity, a little bit more, and wearing eyeliner or skirt to school, and there were people coming out of the closet as being bisexual or gay. So it was just a very different time, because, in the 3 years prior, that I had been at the school, I was very much on my own. So I never got involved, obviously, in any kind of school activities or anything like that. It's kind of like in Breakfast Club when Judd Nelson's character says, "Oh, it wouldn't have anything to do with you activities people being assholes now, would it?" But that's very much how it was at my school. So, I never got involved in it. I didn't belong to any clubs or teams, because there wasn't anything for someone like me. But with these new punk girls and these new rocker boys or queer boys or whatever, experimental boys in any which way you want to label it, but just people being more free and more experimental, they were at my command. These people were at my command because I was the older one, and they had heard about me, and I was the queen of, the queen of their scene. So these people were waiting for my command. So finally I was all right, it's my senior year. And now that I have people, I'm gonna get active. I'm gonna get active with the school this year. So, but I wanted to do it in my own style, of course. So I'm okay, what can I do? I was always a good student, I was an honor student, but other than that, I wasn't ever involved in anything, because there was, nothing for me to be involved in. So I'm all right, you know what? I'm going to start a Riot Grrl chapter. I'm going to start a Riot Grrl chapter as an official school club. And you had to, to start a club, you had to get a faculty member to, to sign, to authorize your club, and to attend all the club's meetings, to chaperone and to attend all the club's meetings. So I was, pretty limited, but I got the, our art teacher, an American Indian woman who was the art teacher, and she approved it. She greenlit it, and I started Riot Girl chapter, and I started going to see all the girl bands that came to town. So I met L7, and then I went to see Hole, and of course I waited after the show to meet Courtney. They were playing in Boston, and I brought my my Riot Girl flyer that was like from the flyers that I had hung around school for our Riot Girls. I called it the Mass Chapter Babies Riot Girl chapter. It was a bright pink flyer that I brought for her to sign. And she comes out, and she's like being totally cool. She's signing autographs. She's chatting with fans. It's a decent crowd around her. And suddenly this drunk guy, comes up from the street. And I don't even think he was at the show. He might have been at the show, but I mean, he obviously wasn't a fan. So, I don't know. But he came up from the street, and it was like right behind the crowd of kids that she's signing autographs for. And he starts heckling her with like really sexually degrading remarks. And of course, we're like, all the kids are like really, really uncomfortable because, for one, it's like, dude, we've been standing here for, whatever, 2 hours, and she's like cool enough to stop and hang out with us for 5 minutes. Can you not ruin it, And I don't know where security was, because this guy was like going on for like a good while, just nonstop. Like, hey, Courtney, how's Trent Reznor's dick? I heard you sucked Trent Reznor's dick. Didn't you fuck Trent Reznor? How's Evan Dando? You fucking whore. Oh, you're such a slut. You killed Kurt Cobain, and blah, blah, blah. And like and my blood is boiling, because no one's doing anything about it, and I'm like, I'm about to do something about it myself, and then I'm like thinking to myself, okay, like, she's almost to me as far as like getting to get my autograph, and like, I don't know whether to like keep my mouth shut and get my autograph or kick this guy's ass, because I'm about to take this motherfucker out, and I'm like her, and and she must have like kind of like seen, felt the vibe or whatever, seen the look on my face, because I'm there with my Riot Girl flyer and, trying to strike up conversation, getting my autograph with him going off in the background. And I'm just like, I'm gonna like go, like, when you're done signing that, I'm gonna go kill that guy. But yeah, so he just keeps, going, oh yeah, you fucked Trent Reznor, you whore, and I'm just like, oh God, I'm so sorry, and she signs my autograph, and she looks at me, and she laughs, and she's like, 9-inch nails, more like 3-inch nails. Cute sweater. and then she left. So it was the reason why it's funny is because what Courtney Love taught me from that moment was how to kind of handle misogynist, sexist, trolls with double standards. Because, I really kind of doubt, because, when it comes down to it, like, we're not really talking about promiscuity here. I mean, like, now that I'm, in my older age, and like being sober and stuff now, like, obviously, I don't really like believe in promiscuity, just because, I don't think it's emotionally healthy, but like, that aside, this was not really a promiscuity issue. This was clearly, this was a sexism issue, because I really doubt that like Kiss or Motley Crue or, Guns N' Roses, like any of those bands, I really doubt they ever came out of their backstage doors to an angry drunk female, screaming like, hey, Gene Simmons, how many women did you have sleep with today? You're slut! Hey, Nikki Sixx, aren't you like on your 10th wife, you fucking whore? Like, something tells me that never happened to any of them. But when it's Courtney Love, or any woman for that matter, it's happening, and it's, it's completely inappropriate and unfair, because, it's a double standard, and, you know, I'm very much, you know, like I said, you know, like I'm these days, I would say anti-promiscuity, but I'm very pro-equality. And, you know, we all live our lives and we grow and we learn. And I think that those experiences, life experiences, go for both genders. You know, just because you can run away from abortion or pregnancy doesn't mean that you should go around causing it. So if a promiscuous woman is a slut, then a promiscuous man is a terrorist, in my opinion. You know, something that's bad for society is bad for society regardless of what side you're on, you know, regardless of your gender. And, you know, let's be real. The only men that have a problem with a woman being a slut are the men that can't have her. Since when do men care about a woman being a slut? They wish we were all sluts, you know? So, you know, and I think that, like, you know, I think maybe that is what she was kind of conveying to me in that moment of not even giving him the satisfaction of a comeback or anything, but just kind of sharing a chuckle with me about turning it around, you know, like kind of like turning the shame around on the guys. Cause, you know, like that's what it comes down to is like, okay, well, if they're going to be gossiping about me for sleeping with them, you know, it's like we're talking about guys that are obviously like gossiping about me for sleeping with them. Were they not there too? You know? And then at the same time, as you know, as well as like kind of demonstrating, you know, that point, you know, she also kind of taught me that, you know, that it's okay to kind of like, you know, to laugh at yourself as well. You know what I mean? That, you know, that you know, it's okay to like, you know, have a little chuckle at your own, you know, your own mishaps or whatever as well, which is something that like, moving to Hollywood later, you know, like it's something you definitely need because no matter, you know, you could be Mother Teresa and, you know, you come to Hollywood and you gain any kind of notoriety or popularity of any kind, there are going to be rumors that you have slept with everybody and their mother. That's just how it is. And then it doesn't matter if they're not true. They're usually not. But yeah, so she, you know, so she kind of taught me to be, you know, to be a stronger woman, you know, in charge of my own sexuality. And you know, and then it's kind of funny, like, looking back on that story now, because that was pre-internet, and, like, these days, I think almost, like, every girl out there has, you know, dealt with guys like that, you know, online. And, yeah, you know, I mean, it really is, like, very weird, sexual double standards, and even just, like, logic. Like, the code of ethics of just the brain is very funny. Because, you know, it's like, do you ever see a female, like, going around, like, on Facebook, leaving comments under hot guys' pictures, like, you're like, oh, baby, oh, hey, yeah, you're so sexy, and, you know, I'd really like to do you, you know, I mean, you know, I mean, like, I'm sure that there's some girls out there somewhere that send vagina pictures, but probably to their boyfriends, or at least guys that they're, like, actually talking to, if at all. Whereas, like, on the internet, you know, on the other side, like, they're guys, you know, for some reason, there's a lot of guys out there that like to, like, just send, you know, pictures of their dick to women they don't know, and they've, like, not, like, as an introduction. Like, could you imagine, like, could you imagine a girl, like, on the computer, oh, like, okay, on my Facebook, oh, he's cute. Hey there, your profile pic is super sexy. Do you want to see my vagina? Here's a picture. What do you think? Do you like it? Would you lick it? Does my vagina look like a vagina that you would want to lick? Yeah, girls just, Yeah, we just don't do that. I don't, maybe Courtney Love does that. I should ask her sometime. Anyway, though, speaking of Courtney, the sweater that I was wearing, I saved it for you. It is still in perfect condition. This white sequined vintage cardigan. I saved it for you. If you want this, hit me up on my website, reallexavonn.com. Contact me. You can, like, trade me some Marc Jacobs shoes for it or something. So don't forget to subscribe, because you never can tell what I'll tell on Rock and Roll is My Religion.